the Biscuits and Blurays Podcast, where we watch Blu-rays and the biscuit shot first.
It did.
It done a shot first.
It did.
That's for those who don't know, that's an in-joke for any Star Wars fans out there.
Of which James is the biggest Star Wars fan.
Hello! I'm your host, James. Shall I bump you up to host this season?
This is still your show.
Okay.
Podcast thing.
Are you quite comfortable in co-host duties?
I don't mind. It is your baby. I don't mind.
We're your hosts, James and Jade.
Hello.
Hello. We're talking season 4.
Yay!
We made it. Made it to a new season. We've had a bit of a break.
We have a whole 2 weeks.
You know what? Season 3 went on for a bit, didn't it?
It really did.
Oh, yeah.
You just kept adding more and more and more.
That was your idea, though.
It was not.
The majority of those episodes were your idea.
The later add-ons, because I picked good ones.
And I picked, like...
Shit.
What? I picked, like, the Romulus. You to be fair, you did pick all the trailer talks.
I did, and I picked the best.
Oh, do you need to shoot us?
That was you.
Was that me?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was you.
Then you reflect that onto me.
So yeah, back for a new season. Season 4, we're sticking to a schedule, but we've already fucked it up because we're doing Beetlejuice tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, good luck with that. Welcome back, everyone. Did you enjoy the 2 weeks we've had off?
I really did, but I'd had a bit of a break anyway because you've been podcasting with guests.
I have, but you came back for a bit. You came back for Romulo.
For Rombos, I did indeed.
Yeah, you had fun with that.
Yeah. So much fun.
No guests this season. It's completely us. It's quite a good season, I think. I think I've picked some bangers. We've picked some bangers.
I've picked some bangers.
You've picked maybe 1 or 2 bangers?
Most of the bangers.
Maybe 1 or 2.
No, you're crap.
Okay. But as tradition goes, we have to start a season with Star Wars.
Yes.
Because, hey,
That's the way it be.
that's the way it is. We're going to run out eventually.
Oh, such a shame.
Holiday special?
No.
Holiday special?
No.
Caravan of Courage?
No.
Okay.
No, I feel like you're going to move into another fantasy series of some description.
Like,
Lord of the Rings.
that's what we do in season 5.
So I told you, it's going to come around again.
Okay. But this time, you seem a bit like, Star Wars.
Because they're such long films.
This one's not. This one's 2 hours.
I'm sorry, I don't feel like they're films I can put on after a long day at work and go, I can relax. Because I can't relax and play on my phone while I watch it because you're like, have you seen this bit? Yes, James, I really have seen this bit.
You're a Star Wars fan.
I am a Star Wars fan.
Do you like... This is the New Hope episode. Mm-hmm. Or as people would refer to it, the Star Wars episode. Because back in the day, it didn't have a New Hope.
It did not.
So this is the Star Wars episode.
Yes.
How old were you when you first watched this one?
Ooh, maybe about 9?
Okay.
When did Phantom Menace come out?
99.
So I watched the Phantom Menace first.
Yes.
And then I watched this one in order.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously there was no other ones out by that point.
As did I, yeah. I went Phantom Menace and then 4, 5 and 6, yeah.
But I knew who the characters were because they were famous. They'd been parodied in lots of different things.
See, I never picked up on any parody stuff. I was just straight away like, okay, 4, 5 and 6. And that was it.
I'm not going to lie, what really got me interested initially in Star Wars was that poster of Anakin with with the Darth Vader shadow. I remember thinking that was so cool.
But that's for Phantom Menace.
I know, but I remember thinking, I need to see what happens. How does he end up turning into this horrible person? And then I had to just watch them all.
Do you like the poster for this one where like Luke's really muscular and he's holding the lightsaber? And it's just not a reflection of who Mark Hamill is as a person.
Or what his character is like as a as a person.
I was going to go to Katashi Station to pick up some power converters. Okay, let's talk about this film now. Straight off the bat, me and you like this one, right?
We do like this one.
However, and I think we should be nitpicky, because Star Wars, it's near perfect, but it ain't.
It isn't, no.
Empire is. Empire's a perfect movie. Put that on, have a good time, I'm engaged. This one struggles with pacing for me.
It really does. I felt like a lot of the scenes were a bit pointless. It felt like they were going on for a while.
It's not even like... I don't think it's that. I think it's the scenes at the start.
Yeah, at the start it's like, come on guys, I don't need to watch this.
But then the scenes that happen like midway through the film, they seem short and choppy.
Yeah.
And they could go on for a bit longer. So it's like, okay, I appreciate you've done... There's nothing like Star Wars. This is 1970. We've travelled back in time. Mm-hmm. This is 1977.
Yeah.
horrible place to be, isn't it? 1977. There's nothing like Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate they've got the desert shots and the shots of the big Star Destroyer and stuff. And like 3PO walking in the desert and things.
Those particular scenes, especially at the beginning,
are
absolutely gorgeous. I think they're beautiful. Anything that's a big set piece or that's been done on location, like the stuff that they did in Tunisia, I think looks great. Mm-hmm. And I love it. How many times did I say at the beginning of the film, that's such an iconic picture. If you just took a screenshot now, wow.
And we did.
That's all we did.
Yeah, that's all we did. Just took screenshots of the first 5 minutes of this.
Do you find the CGI really wonky in this?
Okay. We should talk about the CGI. Because back in
day.
Well, here we are. We've travelled, like we said, I'm sticking with this. We've travelled back in time. We're in 1977. Mm-hmm. CGI. What is that? So everything's practical. Everything's man-made. Mm-hmm. Nothing's on a computer these days. Not in 1977. No way.
Yeah.
Any edition of Star Wars I have watched, I realise that it has been edited.
Yeah.
Because George Lucas decided to go, actually, I'm not quite happy with this. Mm-hmm. I'm going to add a little bit more. So essentially, he's gone back and he's added CGI stuff.
Yeah.
And he released that in 1997, which is the video cassette box set you could get, which I had. And I thought, oh God, that's good CGI for 1977. And I've realised that is 1997.
Yeah, I mean, some of it, to be fair, still doesn't look terrible compared to some of the shit I've seen more recently.
I agree, but the problem is that because everything is such...
It's so well done.
Yeah.
It's quite blaringly obvious.
There's 1 minute where a big CGI monster just walks in front of the screen.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, why?
So you're clearly not in that desert scene there, sir.
Are you not happy with that shot there, Mr. Lucas?
Because you should have been.
Yeah. But I don't know, because I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Instances I do like are ones of continuity. Mm-hmm. For example, Jabba the Hutt in the original 1970, the cut that we've released today, 1977. He was a man.
Okay.
That was a dude, and he spoke English. He wore a big fur coat or something. He was a big gangster.
Okay.
But he looked like a caveman sort of thing.
Right.
So, and I don't know if you know this, but the bit where Han Solo walks round Jabba the Hutt and he steps up on his tail, Han Solo goes a bit blurry for a bit.
Yeah.
That is because they've CGI'd Han Solo to look like he's walking on Jabba the Hutt's tail.
Okay.
In the original cut, Han Solo just walks around this guy. So, things like that I like.
Yeah, because also as well, from what we know of Jabba as a character a bit later on, you wouldn't just let Han Solo get away with that kind of shenanigan business.
Yeah. Also, okay, we'll travel back to the 2024. That's the year we watched this in. We watched the McClunky cut. Mm-hmm. Han shot first. Where do you sit on this?
He did shoot first.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
Yeah.
I love any time Harrison Ford's ever asked that question because he couldn't care less.
Yeah, he's just like, fuck off.
I think it's a vibe when actors in Star Wars don't care about Star Wars.
Why?
I just vibe with it. I think Mark Hamill's a bit wrapped up in it, and that's fine. But Harrison Ford is gone, like, when nerds ask him, he's like, oh, who shot first? Was it you or Greedo? He's like, I don't. I just love that. And who else did it recently? I don't know, someone else. But it's a vibe, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, do you think sometimes fans can get too wrapped up in this kind of thing?
Well, this is the start of something new. Mm-hmm. High School Musical style.
It feels so right to be here with you.
Wait. So you thought in every movie theatre in the US and UK or around the world, when they watch Star Wars, they just burst out into the High School Musical start of something new?
Everybody knows Troy Bolton's bit to that. They're all waiting for their Gabriella. And this was it.
Is Troy Bolton Zac Efron?
Yes. How dare you?
Okay, I've seen them, but I don't care.
You should, though.
I don't.
Harrison Ford.
Is he in this? Is he in that?
Yes.
Does he care about that?
Yes.
Oh, he cares about that. That's not like him. Mm-hmm. That's not Harrison I know. Anyway, blockbusters were all the rage. Jaws was a couple of years before. Mm-hmm. So was The Exorcist, just letting you know.
Ugh.
Sci-fi was still a bit wonky, though.
Yeah.
And I'm talking your deep... There's no... I can't even think of an example. I don't know sci-fi before Star Wars.
Yeah, was that your big introduction, really, into sci-fi, mainly with Star Wars?
Oh, God, yeah. I'd say maybe, like, Power Rangers was, like, the gateway one.
Mm-hmm.
Because I guess that's sci-fi.
My parents are aliens.
Okay. Are you talking about the TV show, or are you just stating a fact?
No, they really are aliens.
I didn't like it when they recast the woman in My Parents Are Aliens.
Yeah, incorrect.
Yeah. Anyway, but people they would often be filmed on like sound stages and things, and if there was a robot, it was just a man in a suit. Mm-hmm. And I get it.
Yeah.
3PO is still a man in a suit.
Yeah.
However, there's something different. Lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
How did you react when you first saw Star Wars?
Do you want me to be completely honest?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
I was bored.
That's the end of Biscuits and Blurays as a brand. Good hosting, dude. Is your background to co-host.
No, so when I first saw The Phantom Menace, I really liked that film.
Okay.
I thought that it really captured my imagination as a child. Mm-hmm. I think it was the costumes, it felt really big. It felt such a great cinematic experience as well, because I hadn't really gone to the cinema to watch anything that was a live action film, really. I'd only ever been to see Disney films, the animated stuff.
Right.
So it was like, oh, this is new.
Yeah.
So when I was then introduced to Star Wars, like the Star Wars films, it was ripped off the TV that my dad had do.
Oh dear.
With adverts in between. So I think they're long films. So holding my attention for that long when you had adverts in between. I remember thinking it was so boring. And all I wanted to see was some action. And again, because the beginning bit seems really slow because they're world building and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It didn't capture my attention until they were on the Death Star.
Okay.
That's when it really started to pick up more for me. And it had my attention more.
There is a turning point in this, I think.
Yeah.
For me, it's when Obi-Wan turns up. Because that's when I'm like, oh, okay, wizards, like princesses. It's a fairy tale in space. That's how this has always been described. Do you think Star Wars is for kids?
I'd say yes, but then you see two dead bodies in the beginning of it with all that meat stuck to them. Which is quite graphic, really. Bearing in mind, we've just seen these characters, which they could look like they could be anyone's parents.
Quispy.
So, I think it's something you'd watch as a family, isn't it? It's a family blockbuster.
You don't tend to think about the skeleton bit. Although...
You do now.
Now I can't stop thinking about it, and I can see it in my mind.
When you go to sleep.
Yeah, if I overcook anything, I'm like, oh, Aunt Beru, Uncle Owen.
Spooky, scary skeletons.
Those were probably the cheapest skeletons that they could buy in Tunisia, right?
Probably.
Okay, great. Just spray paint them black.
Yeah,
chuck some liquid smoke on it, it's fine. I like practical effects. Mm-hmm. We like practical effects.
Everyone likes practical effects.
Yeah, practical effects are better. I think this is true. Mm-hmm. Are you a fan of a miniature?
I love a miniature.
Yeah.
I really do.
What is it you like about them?
I just think the level of detail that you can put into a miniature. Mm-hmm. It's just, I think it's beautiful.
I like it when they make miniatures just to blow them up. Mm-hmm. This happens a lot in this.
Yeah.
And I can tell a miniature.
Yeah.
I don't think seeing it, like, having remasters and 4K releases and stuff like this, I don't think it does old films justice.
No, because you can see all the really intricate details.
Yeah. I can see I can tell a miniature far away.
I can see the strings it's hanging from.
Exactly. I think Star Wars is terrible for it. There's a shot in the trench run where it's like, okay, this is quite good and it's quite intricate, but there's a shot where it looks like a ship's landed on the Death Star.
I know exactly which bit you're talking about.
And it just cuts to it and it's just like a little pop.
Yeah.
And I imagine that explosion was probably only an inch high. Mm-hmm. But magic of cinema. Ooh. I like that though. It adds charm to it.
Aww.
Which is not what Star Wars has anymore. Sad.
So what was your first initial reaction to this film?
Oh, I was completely swept up in it.
Okay.
I don't remember my first reaction to 3PO and stuff. Because I was like, oh, that's 3PO from Phantom Menace who's got a shell on him now. Mm-hmm. He's fully built. So I'm sort of filling in the gaps. Yeah. But the stuff on the desert is just boring. I'll say it. This is a 5-star movie, but that's boring.
I'd say it's boring, but I think it's stunning. It's visually impressive.
I do like the Jawa stuff. Mm-hmm. Oh, Dee those guys. Because I just think they're cute.
I'm going to have that as my new text ringtone now.
Is that not your text ringtone?
It is now.
Hey! Have you texted the the number off
Oh,
the
the
back of the
dodgy
magazine.
number off the back of the magazine. So yeah.
But I think it's when the lightsabers turn up and stuff, and Obi-Wan's like, "Oh, this is a civilized weapon for a more civilized," or whatever he says. Just a vibe. Talk to me more, Alec Guinness.
Just keep talking to me.
What do you think about the cast of this?
I was always a big fan growing up of Mr. Mark Hamill.
Really?
I thought he was so baby-faced and cute.
Okay. Is it because of his 70s haircut?
Oh, his little mullet.
He's got the
So
flicks
cute.
at the end of it. He looks...
Harrison Ford was a bit of a bad boy.
He's a
Couldn't
naughty
help
boy.
but love him. Very, very naughty boy later on. And Carrie Fisher's just so stunning.
She is,
But
isn't
she's
she?
strong, and I love that. So I loved all three of them together. I thought they were delicious.
One would argue that Carrie Fisher's Princess Leia in this is the equivalent of Princess Fiona from Shrek. What I mean by that is that she's not a typical princess. When they rescue her, she can fend for herself.
Yeah.
She just has to get out.
And she was fending for herself anyway in there.
Yeah. I mean, she let her planet die. That was a bad move on her part.
But she knew there was nothing that she could do.
Yeah. Well, blow up the
She's not
sunflower.
stupid. She knew they were going to do it anyway.
No, she's a bit stupid.
I don't think she is.
Okay. Well, they to be fair, they did lie to her and say, okay,
They asked for that rebel base first. She gave them one where she knew already that they'd left.
Dantooine, yeah. But there must be something on that planet.
So she was either doing it to buy time to try and get out,
Yeah.
or knowing that they were going to go for it anyway. Mm-hmm. She gave false information. Very, very Guy Fawkes.
Oh, it is a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we all know what happened there. That has a very happy ending.
It does indeed.
Depending on your perspective. Well, we'll not get into that. Were you not swept up in the Harrison Ford Han Solo craze then?
I think I was a bit young for that.
Let me tell you who was.
Miss Fisher.
Miss Fisher. She's a naughty girl. I think he was married. I think he had a girlfriend or he had a partner. Mm-hmm. And you should read about this, Carrie Fisher's book, The Princess Diarist. It's an excellent book. It goes into all the stuff between those guys, and it's quite charming.
You talk about that book once every few months, you know.
Do I?
Yeah, you do.
On the podcast? On here?
Either on the podcast, you mentioned it a few times, or at home.
It's a wonderful book.
Everybody, go out and get this book.
I'm not sponsored by Carrie Fisher. Oh, she's not here to defend herself. Fuck it. I'm sponsored by Carrie Fisher. You should read that book. It's pretty good. No, but she had a little bit of a... with...
What's one of them, James?
Oh, I couldn't possibly tell you, but if you looked it up in the dictionary, you'd know
Looked at what?
If you looked up...
You just see them two.
It's a picture of those two just canoodling in the...
Because there was a big story, wasn't there, about her and Mark Hamill just making out one day and getting it out their system almost, and then being like, we're not going to do that again.
Yep, that was a mistake. Oh.
Well,
It's because you're brothers and sisters.
spoilers, James.
It's Star Wars.
Spoilers.
It doesn't count.
People might not know yet.
If you don't know... Okay, fuck
If
it.
you don't know, James has spoiled
Alright
for
then,
you.
spoiler alert for Star Wars A New Hope. I'm sorry. This isn't the Star Wars film to have spoilers in it.
Who knows?
Okay, well, spoilers for Empire when we do that one next week. Alec Guinness, fan? No, not fan.
I think he's alright, but I love me some McGregor.
Can you appreciate that that is the same character?
Yes, I can.
Is that the work of Alec Guinness or is that the work of Ewan McGregor, do you think?
Ewan McGregor.
Yeah, I agree. But McGregor did bring his own spin on it.
Yeah, absolutely, and he had to, otherwise you're just blatantly copying someone else.
Well, he basically did. He said hello there. Of course he's me.
It's giving him something to base the character on.
Yeah.
But I just love Ewan McGregor. He can do no wrong for me.
What about Alec Guinness, though? Sir Alec Guinness, a knight of the realm. He had a terrible time during this. He didn't find it, engaging, the dialogue, Alec Guinness.
I would agree with him, though, especially those earlier scenes. I don't think it's the most engaging. It's very choppy, especially when you've got the scene where Luke finds out that his family have been killed. Spoilers.
Yeah, okay.
The way he reacts to it, going back, the screen just cuts out and then he goes back to Obi-Wan to tell him. And there's hardly anything to it.
Yeah.
There's no real emotion between the characters. It's all very strange.
I want to train with the Jedi now. He's like, are you not going to shed a tear for your family that you've just been you've just seen Quispy.
No, I'm alright.
Yeah,
I'm going to go save a princess.
He wants to go to the Toshi station to pick up some power converter.
See, I can see why someone like Mr. Guinness would probably think that, because it doesn't really give him much to work with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But he won in the end.
Mm-hmm.
He took a bit of a pay cut on this, Alec Guinness, and I know this for a fact. He told me. He's in the room.
Yeah.
He's like, I took a bit of a pay cut.
Jedi ghost.
Yeah, exactly. He just appears like that everywhere now. He took a pay cut on it just to do it, and he said, okay, but I want a certain percentage of the merchandising.
Yeah.
Not thinking this was going to be a hit. No one thought Star Wars was going to be a hit when it was made. Mm-hmm. Not even George Lucas. Even like to the fact that when he showed it to his friends, they didn't have all the special effects, so he put some stock footage in of like just like war movies, and all his mates were like, "This is shit. This is shit." And George Lucas didn't attend the premiere because he thought it was going to fail. Mm-hmm. He went on holiday with Steven Spielberg, which is where he came up with Indiana Jones.
Okay.
He's just that creative. Anyway, Alec Guinness took a percentage of the merchandise, and that merchandise blew up.
Yeah.
We know you can't move. You can't look anywhere and not see Star Wars.
Yeah. I think the three main actors, I think, in this were probably thinking, oh, for fuck's sake. All these action figures are being created, all in my image.
Yeah.
Are being sold, and I'm not making anything from this.
Apart from Alec Guinness.
He knew.
Yep. I didn't live much longer after
You know
these.
why?
Go on.
It's Jedi Ghost.
There's a Jedi Ghost.
He knew already. They
I'm going
can
to
see in the future.
I'm going to make so much money on the merchandise. It's like, you will make so much money on the merchandise.
And then you'll die.
You will sign the contract, and I will make 2 more and die. And Ewan McGregor will replace me. That guy from Train Spotting. And other movies. I don't know, I went straight to Train Spotting.
You just like that one.
Train Spotting's a banger, I'll say it. Can you imagine if this didn't work?
No, I can't, because it's something that's always been here.
Yeah.
So big, and it's such a massive part of pop culture. From back then even to now, it's everywhere. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's something that I've ever really lived without, weirdly.
That's a fair assumption, I'd say.
I mean, maybe I'm lucky. I was born into a Star Wars world.
Well, it's a game changer.
Mm-hmm.
The game changers come along every now and then. We've not had one for a while. What was the last game changer? Avatar.
Yeah.
It brought 3D back for about 5 minutes. And then...
Yeah, visually it was stunning. Obviously no one had seen anything like that in ever.
Yeah. Ridley Scott went to see Star Wars. Mm-hmm. Little fucking arsehole Ridley Scott. I hate the guy. We've just spoke about him. But he was umming and ahhing what to do, and he was like, creatively, he was in a bit of a rut. And then Star Wars came out, and he saw it, and he went, oh, fuck it, I need to do something like this. Mm-hmm. And then he went and did Alien. Yeah,
so this has probably spawned off so many different creative ideas now I've been used. I mean, even from looking at how the stories have evolved since this movie.
Yeah.
It's huge now. We've got TV shows, animated series, books, games.
Comics.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Tattoos.
Yes, tattoos. It's amazing, really.
Yeah, absolutely. There wouldn't be a Spaceballs without it.
No, this has been the start of so many amazing things.
Unfortunately, it is what it is now. Mm-hmm. But I don't think this is the fault of Mr. George Lucas or anyone.
No.
I know what I think. We'll get to those.
Yeah, I mean, as far as this movie's concerned, it's the one that started it all off.
Yeah. If Jaws was the first summer blockbuster, this is like the first event.
Mm-hmm. Event cinema.
Yeah. I think it was in cinemas for a while. Can you imagine not being able to see it opening night and seeing what all the fuss is about, reading what's this Star Wars in the newspaper?
Yeah.
And then having to queue around the block. That's what they do in America. They queue around the block.
Around the block.
Yeah. Oh, it was good times.
Oh, I remember having to queue out the door at Nickelodeon to watch Paranormal Activity 2.
I remember fucking working there when people were queuing around the door.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. For Jungle Book. That was a motherfucker.
I was not in the queue for that.
Okay, good. I remember one guy came out, an old man, brought his kid. He came out 5 minutes into the film and he was like, my son is terrified. I was like, okay, what's the problem? He was like, we thought it was the cartoon. We thought he'd re-release the cartoon. And I was like, oh, no. Research your movies before you take your kids to see it. Yeah. There we go. Okay.
Because those tickets ain't cheap.
Not anymore.
I had to remortgage my house.
I imagine people back in the day went to see Star Wars for like a penny.
Shilling?
Yeah, a shilling. Oh, I got a shilling for your Star Wars, sir. It's like, there you go. Good chap, there's a shilling. Like riding there.
Why did we end up in Victorian London?
That's what I imagine the 70s were like. I've seen TV shows.
Oh my god.
Riding away on the penny farthing after they watch it. Oh yes, can you believe Darth Vader's his father?
That's the second one. Spoilers! Spoilers
shit.
again, he's at it again. Sorry, guys.
Talking about Darth Vader, as a villain,
Mm-hmm.
how do you think he is? Do you think he's
He's
threatening?
a bit crap in this, isn't he?
What? Why? What? Go on.
I think his costume design is great. I think his voice
Perfect.
beautiful.
I preferred his.
It's so sexy.
I preferred his Bristol accent. Have you heard?
Yeah.
Oh, I want them alive.
But he's a bit of a bitch to Mr. Cushing.
No, here's the
He
thing.
gives off real villain vibes in this.
I don't think the Star Wars films, the original trilogy, have an over arc. What's the word I'm looking for? A villain that goes throughout the films. Mm-hmm. I think it's a separate villain each time.
Yeah.
I think Darth Vader is the villain of Empire.
Yeah.
I don't think he's the villain of Return of the Jedi. Mm-hmm. Nor do I think he's the villain of this.
I don't find he is. He's almost like it feels almost like he's a lapdog.
Absolutely.
It gives off very much Darth Maul vibes in Phantom.
Yeah.
He's kind of sent to do dirty work almost, and he gets his ass shut the fuck up when Cushing tells him to.
And this is the thing. Peter Cushing is the main villain, I would argue.
Oh, and he's so good.
Oh, with those cheekbones, what they do.
Oh, cut yourself on them.
The accident book for the Star Wars movie, this one, it's just people just cutting themselves on Peter Cushing's cheekbones. Oh, get them out of here! They have to put bubble wrap on them or something.
Absolutely.
Mr. Cushing, not very cushioning.
Be careful, sharp objects.
Sharp objects. Peter Cushing just walked into a room.
Like, ah!
Oh gosh, what an actor to get for this.
Oh, it's incredible.
I find it weird and also bizarre. Is that the same thing? Probably not. But
How bizarre.
how bizarre. Okay, so we're not sponsored. That Peter Cushing played Van Helsing, right? In a Dracula movie.
Well,
Did he? I'm asking a question.
I don't know. You're looking at me like I should just know.
You love your horror movies and Dracula.
I love my
Lore.
Dracula.
Okay, but Christopher Lee is Dracula.
Yes.
And I believe Peter Cushing played...
I wouldn't be surprised.
Van Helsing.
Because they were part of all the Hammer stuff, weren't they?
But they're both a part of this. Just different trilogies.
Yes.
Yes. That's all I have to say about that.
Well done.
And there's no other old actors left anymore.
Moving swiftly on.
Okay.
Anyone who... If you want to see Darth Vader looking very villain-like, check out the Tidy's High video by Blondie.
What are you talking about?
Have you seen that music video?
No.
He's just there for no reason.
What do you mean?
If you honestly, I remember watching
the
it.
tide is high. That
But
one.
I'm holding on. Yeah,
What's that?
It's just there.
What's that got to do with Darth Vader?
I don't know, but he's just in it for no reason. And Blondie's like, yeah, we're having the best time, and there he is.
Okay, wow.
So there you go, guys. That's some information you didn't want to know or care about.
Anakin Skywalker's a Blondie fan.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He gives off that vibe in this.
Does he?
Yeah.
He's like, where are all the blonde women? Just crushes people's throats to get to him. I think he's imposing, but I think Mr. Moff Tarkin. Mm-hmm. You may fire word ready. Oh, say it again. I love him. George Lucas was heavily inspired by war movies, particularly ones with what they call dog battles.
Yes.
Those are plane battles.
Yes.
And that shows in this one. Mm-hmm. If you want your lightsabers and stuff...
This isn't the movie for you.
No. I would argue that Revenge of the Sith is the movie for you. Mm-hmm. Or even Phantom Menace. Any of the prequel ones.
Yeah, they do a lot more with it.
Yeah. Maybe because the tech wasn't all there yet.
In budget, I say budget, but I probably bet they had some really good budget on the last ones of this.
Yeah. But there is a lightsaber duel in this.
Oh my god.
Okay. It's between a geriatric pensioner man and a guy and an amputee, essentially, is the fight. How does that go?
When, spoilers, Obi-Wan gets
Obi-Wan.
Gets fucked up, he just seems to disappear.
Okay.
He just gets, like, vanished.
Yeah.
He just leaves his clothes and his lightsaber behind.
Yeah.
That man's naked somewhere. I've never seen anyone get fucked up by a lightsaber and just completely disappear.
Okay. Strap in.
Oh.
Obi-Wan didn't always know... the Force Ghost thing.
Why are you facing me like that?
This is important to look. I think this is true. This is my lore that I'm bringing. I don't know if it's
and you're making
canon.
up.
I might be making it up. If you want facts, this isn't the podcast for you.
Because we could be talking some utter shit right now.
Yeah. Obi-Wan learned about Force Ghosts from Qui-Gon, who died in Phantom Menace. Mm-hmm. Obviously, when he died, he didn't just disappear. Mm-hmm. So Obi-Wan's been training with Qui-Gon on Tatooine. That's what he says at the end of Revenge of the Sith. He's like, Qui-Gon? I was like, Qui-Gon? And then, you've seen Kenobi, yeah? Spoiler alert for Kenobi. Qui-Gon turns up. And he's a Force Ghost, and he's like, I've got some stuff to teach you. This is why Obi-Wan can do this when he's going to die.
Right. Nice little story, little back thing there.
Okay.
Were they thinking about that when they made this shit?
Absolutely not.
Exactly. So let's just talk about it for what it is.
Okay, what it is just an old man just piecing out.
Because no one else dies by a lightsaber in this.
No one else dies in this, apart from maybe like thousands of stormtroopers and millions of people on the Death Star.
Entire planet,
an actual planet, yeah. But no one really.
No one really.
No one really dies. If they're all Jedi, millions of Force Ghosts, millions of them, crowded.
But I say, where are all them then? When all the younglings got fucked up in the prequels,
well,
where are all them?
You have to learn it, and I don't think they got to. Oh, it's going to teach these younglings how to be a Force Ghost.
What about when all the Jedi's got fucked up then? In Revenge of the Sith.
They hadn't got that far. Only Qui-Gon was the first one to tap into it.
That's because they weren't fucking thinking about it.
I appreciate where you're coming from, but I'm telling you how it is.
Now. Because fans, sorry guys, like to put all their own little theories and stuff together and they have so much fun with it, and that's great, but were they thinking that right here and then? Probably fucking not.
Okay. It might not actually be true, because then Darth Vader, when he dies, he becomes a Force Ghost.
I just feel like you're lying.
I don't know what's happening. I've really lost touch with Star Wars. I think every TV show that's come out is to blame for it. And I'm glad Acolyte's not got a season 2, even though I've not watched it. That's all I'm saying. It's not my Star Wars. Star Wars is cinematic. Star Wars is big screen.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch it on my iPhone.
Well, we've just watched it on James's iPhone.
We have just watched it. We're watching it right now on
on a PSP.
What? I think I did have it on my PSP once. Is that
you
weird?
did.
Not this one. I think Revenge of the Sith. But I had it on my PSP.
On an MP3 player.
Oh my god! I'm playing it on a McDonald's checkout thing. Okay, we've lost track. Oh yeah, the lightsabers duels. So there's not much of those, but the dog fights are quite good. Methinks.
I think they're quite good.
Okay.
The last one is one that everyone loves, with the Spider Jets. When all 6 of them fight the Death Star.
But okay, all right. Well, loads of okay. You said this to me, and I agree with you on this. That when the rebellion goes, okay, we need to launch an attack on the Death Star and blow it up or whatever. I always thought there were thousands of these X-Wing fighters. It felt like thousands.
Yeah.
They send 10 max, because only 3 and the Millennium Falcon come out of it alive. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people die.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people in all of these 10 spaceships, really.
Well, there's only one per ship, though. So many droids died.
No one cares about them. That's really upsetting.
Yeah.
They're pretty cool.
Why has everyone got a prejudice about droids in these
I think they're banging. They're so cool. Everyone's cool except for C-3PO.
You don't like.
He can get in the bin.
He can get in the bin. There is one of these films coming up, though, where I think 3PO is actually really good. And it's going to surprise you which one it is.
Okay.
I'll leave that with you.
Yes, please do.
Put that in the back of your mind.
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
We'll forget about that in 10 minutes.
R2-D2's in it, though, and he's cool.
He's always cool.
Yeah. And Chewbacca, how do you feel about him?
He's just there existing, isn't he?
Yes.
He doesn't have much to do in this.
John Williams' score knocked it out of the park.
Yes, every time it got to a bit that you really enjoyed, your hands were up in the air, like you just don't care.
I don't know what's going on in that guy's head to go, okay, well, here's the Star Wars theme, and also here's the Leia's theme, and then here's the Imperial, like, the Darth Vader's theme and stuff, and then, like, just so many themes that are iconic, he just brought them all to this one, not expecting it to be a hit.
And then here we are.
And then, like, I listen to some of these songs genuinely quite a lot.
We know.
Duel of the Fates is getting played at a wedding, guys.
Oh, I'm not going down the aisle to Duel of the Fates. Absolutely not.
Why not? Come on! Okay, fine. The Force theme and Leia's theme hits me somewhat fierce, though.
That's because I think you also really love Carrie Fisher.
I do love Carrie Fisher. She's in Drop Dead Fred. Anyway, she's in Drop Dead Fred. What else is there to talk about?
The problem is, I think, with Star Wars is that there are so many podcasts and there are so many YouTube videos where people are unpicking it. There's so much lore to it now. I feel like this is something where people are going to listen to it and go, oh my God, this is absolutely terrible. This is not my Star Wars. I think Star Wars is now different for everybody, really.
Star Wars is what you bring to Star Wars. Mm-hmm. And if you take something from it and it affects your life, great. Everyone agrees that this one's... every generation has a Star Wars.
Yeah.
And you can... For me, it was the prequels. Those were my introduction. Yeah. But I do like these ones, and I like some of the sequel ones. I'll say it. Star Wars is good. I like Star Wars generally. Mm-hmm. There are bad ones in there.
Yeah.
But overall, Star Wars is banging.
I will always say that I find some of them too long.
Which is weird that you say that, because the prequels are half an hour longer than the one we watched.
Yes, and they are too long.
Okay. What sort of time are you looking at? Perfect.
About 20 minutes.
You want a 20-minute movie?
No, I think 2 hours is too long for me.
Well, okay, but this is exactly 2 hours.
Exactly, it's too long for me.
The next one is also 2 hours.
Too long for me.
I think Return of the Jedi is maybe, again, 2 hours.
Again, too long for me.
But then all the other films are 2.5 hours.
Too long for me.
Yeah, I know. Some of them feel long.
I don't know if it feels long because we've got so many scenes that feel almost like padding. I know in this one it makes sense because they are set building.
Yeah.
And they want to bring you into the story a little bit. But I think, especially with the prequels, a lot of it I just think, oh God, this is crap. Do we really need this?
I think it's different though. We're watching it at a time where you can get a filter for a Star Wars fight and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Back in the 70s, you are gripped straight away from that opening crawl. You've got a bit of backstory there. You've got something to read if you're that way inclined. Mm-hmm. And then the camera pans down, and then the ship comes over. It feels like it's coming over your head.
Yeah.
That big ship's massive. And there's nothing like that around.
Wait, just repeat that again.
Yeah, exactly.
That big ship's massive.
It's massive, mate. Look at that fucking ship, everyone said in 1977. But that's what gripped you. Mm-hmm. You're already interested, just visually. Any story that's happening is... It could be slow, but your attention's always there. I feel bad for people who haven't seen Star Wars. Because what do you show them? Do you show them this, or do you show them Phantom Menace? Yeah,
I think as well, I think it can be hard for something to go into because of how CGI and stuff has changed. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's so much material now to go at.
Yeah.
I mean, do you start with one of the TV shows? I mean, I'm going to say no.
Probably no.
But I know, like, The Mandalorian especially has been really popular.
Yeah.
I know somebody I used to work with who wasn't a Star Wars fan, never really spoke about it, but for some reason, she put The Mandalorian on one night, absolutely loved it, and that brought her into the rest of the stuff, so...
Did she watch all the other Star Wars then?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
For the basis of that. I mean, she still likes that more for unknown reasons, but hey, however you make your way in, it's absolutely fine, but it'll probably not be via the Acolyte.
But people are finding their way into it through the Acolyte.
Incorrect. No, they are.
But...
And it's found an audience.
It's found an audience, but that audience is minute compared to the audiences for Phantom Menace, for New Hope, and for Force Awakens. It needs to be cinematic.
Do you think Star Wars needs to stop for a bit? Or do you think it's always going to keep chugging something out? I
do think the leadership above doesn't know what to do with it. And thinks, okay, quantity is better than quality. But there's no one... Marvel's had a similar problem. Where they just keep pumping out TV shows, and people have lost track a bit.
Yeah, all these lesser known random characters that maybe had 1 or 2 lines in one of these films, all of a sudden have got these massive backstories and huge TV shows, and then it's not making sense with elements of the original films, and I think that's what's starting to taint it a little bit. And then for fans,
if you go to see a film and then you haven't seen a TV show previously, and then you haven't done your homework, you're excluding a fraction of your audience.
Yeah, do you think that is what's going to happen to Star Wars? Do you think they'll chuck out a film at some point where you will have needed to have seen some of these TV shows to understand it?
It's happening. There's going to be a Mandalorian movie.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna bring people back to the cinema to see Star Wars, and I'm there for that. Mm-hmm. The problem is seasons 1, 2, and 3 of The Mandalorian, you will have need to have seen. But then you also need to have seen the fucking Boba Fett TV show, which, I'll say it, shouldn't exist. I'm very passionate about this.
Yeah.
We'll talk about him in Empire, because I fucking hate that guy, but there's a rant coming. But why should you have to do so much to
just enjoy one movie?
Yeah, absolutely. It's good that The Mandalorian sort of exists on its own, but then it's getting bogged down. Now they're bringing in like Luke Skywalker. I haven't seen season 3. They're bringing in Luke Skywalker and they're attaching it to the Clone Wars. It's like, you're trying to please too many people.
Yeah.
Tell a good story set in the universe. You don't need to bring characters back. If it's Star Wars, the audience will come. If you tell a good story, the audience will follow.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. I think that's the problem as well that a lot of these old franchises, movie-wise as well, are having. It's like we don't need all these people being brought back. These stories like this exist on their own and they're fabulous. Just enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah. Star Wars could have been... A New Hope could have been it. They could have gone, that's it.
I could watch A New Hope and I wouldn't have needed to have seen any of the prequels, nor would I have to watch anything that came after it. That's just a film I could slap on and I know exactly from start to finish what's happened. You get a start, middle and an end.
I feel that about this original trilogy anyway.
Yeah.
I think if you were, this story is a 3-chapter thing. I think the original trilogy is the prequel. The prequel trilogy is the 3-chapter thing.
Yeah.
It's 3 chapters, 3 chapters, 3 chapters. You've had Rogue One, which we should talk about in a second.
Yeah.
That sort of fills in some gaps, and you've got Solo, which is just there. I think that's a bit too much.
Yeah.
I think maybe put Rogue One back. But Rogue One works because, again, that's not a thing where you've needed to know people's backstory. You can just watch those characters.
Yeah.
I don't like the characters in Rogue One.
Oh, I do, though. Oh, fuck it. It's such a good film.
You've seen Andor.
I have.
Yeah. So...
Oh, he's sexy.
I haven't seen Andor. Apparently it's really good. So
it is really good. But no, I really enjoyed Rogue One.
Yeah.
And actually, it was, to be fair, watching Rogue One more recently and then watching this made me realise just how much I love it.
Rogue One?
I don't feel like I can get over that last 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It's one of the best times I've ever had at the cinema.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you. Rogue One, obviously, there's a loophole in this, that Rogue One is basically addressing. Do you think Rogue One did a good job retrospectively?
Yeah.
And that is the purpose for existing. Do you think it earned its place?
I think it did, and I think as well, for watching Rogue One made me really excited to watch this.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, I'm ready.
I think there is a cut of it somewhere that someone's done, like a fan cut.
Yeah.
Where it just slides straight into this one.
Yeah.
So it cuts the opening crawl, cuts the credits out, and it merges them.
Oh,
that's like one.
Oh, that'd be sexy.
Yeah. But then you have that shit on the desert. Which, after, like, a 25-minute battle scene...
You're going to need a bit of respite.
You're going to need. Yeah. So, overall, the pacing of it works in this film. But watching it tonight and watching it every time I watch it, I think the pacing's off.
Oh, I think the pacing's off.
But it's pretty good, though.
It is good. I mean, it's a nice start to what is a absolutely fabulous trilogy.
Correct. Better than Space Jam?
Yes.
I agree. It was always going to be. Yeah. Let's face it. So, good. I'm glad we got that sorted. We're back on season 4. Back on a schedule.
Yes, it's exciting. We're going into spooky season soon as well.
Yeah, it's wedding season as well. So.
I know.
Yeah. So, this next week is going to be Empire. We're going to do the original trilogy. Good times. We're getting Beetlejuice between now and then. So
yeah, Beetlejuice is tomorrow. I cannot wait. I think it's going to secretly suck, but I can't wait to just be a part of it.
We will let you know. Anyway, thank you for talking Star Wars with me.
You're welcome.
I know you didn't want to.
No.
Yeah, but Empire's good though, so we've got that coming.
Yeah, and do you know what? I've only ever seen Empire, I think maybe twice.
Okay.
And I haven't seen it being under the age of maybe 13.
I hope it holds up for you.
I hope it does. Like I said, I've only ever seen it on TV.
Yeah.
It's like in between adverts. So to watch it all the way through, might install some new desire to make me just want to watch it again and again and again. Who knows?
Absolutely. Thank you for listening, guys. Welcome back to the Biscuits and Blurays Podcast. A new legacy.
Ooh.
I know. We'll see you next time.
You will.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.